Welcome to the Resilient Retail Game Plan, a podcast for anyone wanting to start, grow or scale a profitable creative product business with me, Catherine Erdley. The Resilient Retail Game Plan is a podcast dedicated to one thing, breaking down the concepts and tools that I've gathered from 20 years in the retail industry and showing you how you can use them in your business. This is the real nuts and bolts of running a successful product business, broken down in an easy, accessible way. This is not a podcast about learning how to make your business look good. It's the tools and techniques that will make you and your business feel good. Confidently plan, launch and manage your products, and feel in control of your sales numbers and cash flow to help you build a resilient retail business. Welcome. It's episode number 70 of the Resilient Retail Game Plan. And I'm your host, Catherine Erdley, as well as the founder of the Resilient Retail Club, which is my membership for product businesses. You can find out more at resilientretailclub.com. And if you use the code 10podcast, that's 10podcast, you can get £10 off your first month. I'm delighted in today's episode to be joined by Beth Coldrick, who runs Beo Skincare. Beo stands for Beth's Aromatherapy Organic Skincare. And I worked with Beth earlier this year on the business. And what really struck me about her and why I invited her on the podcast to talk to you today is just really the amazing way that Beth has managed to grow her business despite some pretty significant health issues. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, how she started the business, how it's grown, and how she manages as a founder who has to work around her limitations. Hi, Beth. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes, you were telling me you've been listening to the podcast from the beginning.
I have indeed. Yeah, as I was saying earlier, I have literally been by your side via the podcast and the internet from day one. And honestly, I'm just, so grateful to all of the amazing advice and help that you give all small business owners. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for being here. And so I asked you to be on the podcast because we'd spoken earlier in the year about your business. And let's start off with you introducing yourself and your business. Tell everyone what you do.
Lovely. Well, hi, everyone. My name is Beth, and I'm the founder of Beo Skincare. I have been in the natural beauty industry for, over 15 years now.
Wow.
Which has been amazing as a waxing specialist and a facialist. But also, whilst doing that, I have been suffering with Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. So it's been a real kind of battle of running a business, dealing with my health. So a few years ago, I got really poorly and my skin was really sensitive and I just couldn't find anything to soothe it. So I started formulating my own skincare products. And of course, that's where Beo was born in 2018. And that's what I now do full time.
Amazing. And I have to say, your products are divine.
Thank you.
They smell wonderful and they feel wonderful. So tell me a little bit about the business that you were running previously. So a waxing specialist and a facialist. So presumably that was quite a physical job.
Yes. Very, very physical. So again, like we've spoken about previously. So I lived in a nutshell. I lived in Australia for 4 years in my early 20s, which is where I trained to become a natural beauty therapist. I did a diploma with nutrition and natural beauty. I was feeling quite ill back then with lots of digestive issues, stomach issues, obviously didn't know it was IBD then. So I decided I wanted to do a job that was around happy people, that was chilled, that was relaxing, and that is something I would enjoy. So, of course, I became a beauty therapist, absolutely loved it, but then came home and set up my own business, like loads of therapists do from home, extra room in the house. Started seeing clients, and within 6 months, it turned into seeing 70 clients a week. So 70 women a week, back to back with waxing and facials and massage actually back then. So yes, Catherine, it was very physical.
That is hugely physical. I always think, massage therapy in particular, like that it must be exhausting. So were you working, 7 days a week?
I was doing pretty much 5 days, sometimes six days a week, but I was literally doing about 7 or 8 hours a day.
Wow.
So it was pretty intense. Yeah, just constantly. And of course, it's not even the physical side of it. It's the, I don't know, not emotional, but you're talking to people, and I love all my clients, but you're talking constantly all day long. And I'm quite a spiritual person as well. So I'm touching people. So the energy, and I just used to get so drained, but I loved it. And I do love it and did love it. So yes.
Did you have a team then when you got to that capacity? Did you then expand?
Well, that's the thing. So I started the wax room in 2010. Yeah, 2010. Ran it from home full time for 3 years, and then got to 3 years and thought, I think I saw 70 clients a week for about 18 months, maybe 2 years.
Wow.
And got to the point where I was like, this is ridiculous. I need to get help. So yeah, in 2014, I, went to the bank, got a business loan, opened a beauty salon, set it all up. And I ran it for 3 or 4 years. I can't even remember now, 4 years. And by the end of it, I had a team of 8, I think,
oh, wow.
10. So beauty therapist, manager, receptionist. But it was obviously difficult because my illness got really bad, and it was kind of a catch-22. It was good I had a team, but not good because I had people to answer to.
Right.
Being ill.
So ultimately, when your health took a turn for the worse, then did you have to close that down?
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, throughout the 4 years of having the salon, the girls were amazing. They were so supportive, and obviously the clients. But I was in and out of hospital. I remember seeing clients with a cannula in my arm because I'd been in for drips in the morning, saw clients, and then went for drips in the evening.
Wow.
It sounds crazy now I'm saying it out loud. And then I did that for 4 years. And then, 2017, I just thought, this is ridiculous. I can't do this anymore. I'm going to have to close. And then, of course, closed. And that's when I started creating Bayo and thinking of that.
Wow. So it's a really fascinating transition then. So you went from very much service into product. It's really interesting because product formulation is one of those things it's actually hugely, if anyone's listening's got skincare business, then it's like a huge piece of it. It's so important. So was that something that you then had to, were you kind of always formulating things as you went along working with your clients, or was it literally like, okay, I've never done this before, I've got to start from scratch?
Well, funnily enough, so luckily I closed the salon in 2018, set Bayo up in 2018, but I'd actually become a formulator in 2012.
Oh,
so that's the funny thing. So back in 2012, I originally got into the beauty industry because I love skincare. I've always been obsessed with skin and skincare. So when I was giving facials, I was using Neil's Yard, which of course is beautiful, but I started thinking, hold on, it'd be really nice if I made these creams and I made these masks. For me being me, I was like, let's go to London. So I went up to London. I did courses becoming a formulator. So it is, like you said, it's in depth. It's like science, percentages and measurements. So I'd already been making handmade natural skincare products since 2012. So when it came to 2018 of launching Bayo, I knew what I was doing.
Wow. I mean, and that is such a huge piece of it though as well, isn't it? Because if you're having to have someone else formulate your products,
cost as well.
Yeah, and it could be like 3 months, 6 months, somebody else is formulating something, and then if you don't like it, you want to tweak it, and can be a real back and forth. So then when you started Bayo, did you think to yourself, was it kind of I was going to say organic. pardon the pun. Was it sort of a natural progression from what you were doing, or was it very much because of your health challenges that you thought to yourself, listen, I need to do something that isn't about me delivering a service?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's kind of a mixture of that because, like I said, I absolutely loved being a therapist. I loved all my clients. I loved being a waxer, and it was amazing. But it just felt like my health just kept literally giving me a punch in the face, kind of saying, this is too much. You're not meant to be doing this. You're not meant to be doing this. And then I, of course, dabbled in the products, and I was making the products, and that was fun. But of course, the waxing and my beauty business was my full-time business. So I kept carrying on with that, but it just always was like, in the back of my mind, this is more kind of what I want to be doing. So it was really tricky. I've lost my train of thought now.
No, I think you answered it. So it was a question of, and as you said, so part of the issue was that your skin was becoming very sensitive.
Yes.
So then you were working to formulate things that would work for your skin.
Yes.
And then you'd be able to be comfortable that you could share this with other people and it would help other people.
That's exactly it. Sorry, that was what we were saying. Exactly. That was it. It was, answer to your question. I kind of created it and started Bayo from my personal journey. And so that's definitely where it kind of started. But like you said, excuse the pun, to grow it organically and natural. I think when I started it, in my head, I thought, that's fine. I'll just still do my waxing from home. I'll make some products and I'll sell them, on my website and just kind of keep it really chilled. But then it did, of course, and it has got a lot bigger than I thought, because hopefully, the products are working and they're helping everyone with their sensitive skin. And at the end of the day, that's why I became a therapist, a beauty therapist. That's why I love the natural beauty industry, because I just want to help people and advise people the best I can with all the knowledge I've got. And if I can do that now through my skincare products, then bonus.
And now, unfortunately, you have continued to have health issues after launching Bayo as well. So did you find, compared to when you had these issues when you were running a service business, running a product business, have you found that, I mean, obviously you're still formulating the products and making some of the products as well. Did you feel that you were more able to work it around your health issues or still, I mean, I'm sure that's still very challenging.
Yeah, definitely. So funnily enough, this afternoon is my last seeing client session, like ever.
Oh, wow.
It's quite weird that we're doing this today. So I started, I made the decision. I've been thinking about it for about 6 months. So I've made the decision now to stop seeing clients altogether, which has been really difficult. I've been telling them in person because, like you said, I'm still making all of the products but the 2 bestsellers. So I'm still physically making everything from scratch. It is very, very physical and it is exhausting. But I answer to your question, if I'm feeling a bit tired and a bit rough, it doesn't matter as such with Bayo, because I can just go to my studio, put my podcasts on, make the products, and then I feel a bit tired. But with people, of course, as you know, you've got to be on and really there and physically there. So it's much harder. So it's hard, but I think it's easier in a way than the waxing.
Right.
I think.
and it's interesting because there are elements of Bayo that you from the get-go were quite clear that you had to outsource very quickly. So you're not dispatching orders, for example, personally.
No, I am. Yes.
Right.
I am. Yes. Funnily enough, I think we spoke about this ages ago. That is the plan. So hopefully by next spring, I will get fulfillment.
Yes.
That's the next thing.
Right. Yes.
As you know, with handmade, small business, or however you say it, when it's, the people physically making it, it's kind of working through all those steps, isn't it? So I, unfortunately, am still in that position of making all the products, apart from, like we said, the 2 bestsellers. I've had a meeting with my manufacturer. So we're just trying to move some of the other bestsellers over. But again, as everyone knows, it's listening to this with a business. When you're funding it on your own, it's so difficult because you've got money out, money in, money out, money in. Where shall I spend this? Oh, is that going to save me time? So I'm at that kind of in between. So I'm still physically packing all the orders, but just this week finally got hold of Royal Mail and
yay!
Finally got hold of Royal Mail 10 months later, and I've set up a business account. So as of Friday, they will be actually collecting all my parcels from my studio.
Amazing.
Which is a massive help.
Oh, that's huge. Because, you have to walk that line quite carefully, don't you? I mean, I think what I think is interesting is that I think in a way all founders really should be walking this line very carefully, but in a way, because you've had so many health issues, it's like you have to be so much more mindful of it, about just not overstretching yourself, basically.
Well, literally, that's actually overstretching, because as you know, and will tell your listeners, with my illness, it got a lot worse. And 2019, 2020, like you said earlier, when I just launched Veo, I'd had it going for a year, if that, actually not even that, probably about 7 months. And then I got rushed into hospital and I had 4 major surgeries, and I now have a stoma, so an ileostomy. So like you're saying, with the stretching, for the rest of my life, I can't lift anything more than kind of 6-7 kilos.
Yeah.
I wear a support every day. You know, I have to be so careful with the way I move, the way I walk, the way I stand. I still have health issues, but I'd say weirdly, they're not as bad as they were. So I do, still have to take that into account when doing everything.
So you can't be lifting big crates of product or big crates of jars, or
that's where my 73-year-old mum comes in. she does body pump about 1,000 times a week. She's very strong.
That's so amazing that you have that support as well, but then also kind of mindfully building it out so that you can get to fulfillment, and then the fulfillment center will be able to hike around big.
Definitely. Well, that, I mean, as you know, that's my dream, is to have my manufacturer, who is here in Dorset as well. They make everything from hand with lovely teams of people using their actual hands. So they will be eventually making everything, and then fulfillment, like you said, they will be packing everything. So that's what I'm working towards, but it is just a money thing. But I think it's better, isn't it? As most people know, when you're not given a big chunk of money, you're so much more careful with your money, aren't you?
Yeah. For sure. And I always believe that with businesses, is that in a way it's great if you can get an injection of cash, but actually learning to have your business stand on its own 2 feet and pay for itself as soon as possible is so key. And then growing it gradually and looking at things, and you've really mapped it out in terms of what you need in terms of your own, not limitations, but your own health challenges and what you can and can't do.
Absolutely. And I'm so happy and grateful that I can do that, because of course the reason I've stepped away from waxing is because it was too physical and it was too much. And, you know, my friends and I, we laugh about it, that I've gone from that to now making 30 kilos of body cream at a go. And labeling, you know, like 200 bottles. And they're like, I thought you were meant to be trying to take it a bit more easy. So it's weird. But of course, as you know, with the product business, it's, compared to my service business, it can be scaled.
Yeah.
And hopefully one day I can just focus more on the meeting people and going to stockists and seeing customers, rather than, like you said, launching 200 glass bottles around.
And good that you found a manufacturer, you said, that has that ethos as well, and that quality standard that make because your products are such beautiful quality. And how great that they were on your doorstep, because it's so hard to find those contacts, especially in skincare, I think. So it's worked out so well.
It has, hasn't it? And I think it's lovely because I can still actually say it's handmade in Dorset.
Yes.
It might not be always by me, but it will always be handmade in Dorset. And of course, as you know, all of my products are certified Cosmos by Soil Association.
Yeah.
And registered vegan by the Vegan Society. So of course that comes with its whole basket of issues and rules and regulations. So the fact that I've got my manufacturers that are certified, it's just like, phew. Hopefully I don't have to worry about that eventually.
So let's talk a little bit about the future then. So so you started in 2018 and it's already, so that's 3 years, including 2 years where you were in hospital for a big chunk of 2. I mean, that's really astounding when you think about what you've done in that time. And then, so it's really been, I guess, the reaction to the products that has propelled it forwards.
Oh, definitely. And it has been amazing. You know, as like we said, we've spoken in the past, and you can tell that since I've got better and I haven't got any brain fog and I've put my all into the business, it has just skyrocketed. And it's just incredible. It's growing and growing and growing. But yeah, like you said, it has been tricky. 3 years. Well, it's actually Beo's third birthday on the 3rd of December. So not long now, which is like next to Small Business Saturday.
Oh, I love
Yay!
it.
Coincidentally, which was good. But yeah, 3 years old. But like you said, 2 years of that, I was in and out of hospital. So I am, I'm really proud of myself that I've been able to grow the business whilst being ill. But also I'm just so grateful for all of my customers that have supported me, and they place orders every 3 months again and again. And they're the ones that are helping me build the business. And I'm trying to find time to formulate new products.
Yes. Always what's next, right? So what are some of your highlights, do you think? Have there been any kind of pinch me moments, like stockists that you were really pleased with, or just like kind of what have been some of the big moments as you've grown?
It sounds silly, but not silly. But I literally still get so happy every time I receive a review, because they're always 5 stars.
Oh.
And I love reading them and just actually reading what my customers are saying about my products. And I'm reading it thinking, oh my gosh, that's about my product that I made. And honestly, that is one of my favorite things in the business. But of course, now working with, which is another thing that I couldn't believe, 30 stockists.
Wow.
Throughout the country, one in Greece and one in Hong Kong. And I didn't realize it was that many. So yeah, a few months ago, I was finally getting around to doing all my paperwork and organizing, and I counted them up and I thought, sugar, that's 30. Like, oh wow, okay, this is really good. So I think that's been amazing. And then of course, if anybody knows Bayo, they will have seen that I went into a beautiful new department store here in Bournemouth, which is my local town. And
yes, Bobby's.
That's it, Bobby's, where Debenhams was. And it's weird. I think the business is growing, as we know, but just getting it in, quote unquote, a department store.
Yeah.
Everyone's just gone, oh my gosh, wow, that's amazing. Oh, and it's lovely. But I think that has propelled my business up, because even just through, which is awful status, just I'm in Bobby's, which is, not known, but it is known now. So
well, I think it's caused a little bit of a stir, because they had such a focus on local and independent brands, and it's so exciting, I think, to see what people love about Bobby's. If people who are listening aren't familiar with it, do go look it up. So they took over the Debenhams site, as you said, and it's just a really nice story, because we've had so many negative stories about the high street and big chains leaving big holes in city centres, and I think Bobby's is a really great example of how they transformed it into something that people are really proud of.
Oh, honestly, yeah. And Catherine, it's going to be incredible. Like, I just can't believe, the ideas and the plans they've got for it, which you probably are aware of. They've opened the first floor. The ground floor is the beauty hall. So it's still got all your classic famous brands, if you will, like the skincare brands. But then, like you said, they've then chosen and stocked local brands as well. But then they're going to be, they've got a gallery in there. They're going to be having other incredible things, I think, happening on all the different floors. And they've got a South Coast Makers Market. So, every weekend, local makers can go and sell their products. And so I think what Bobby's is doing is incredible, because, and where it is, it's right in Bournemouth Square, which, like you said, when Debenhams wasn't there, was just a hole. Whereas now it's right in the centre and it looks beautiful. It's very Selfridges back in the 40s kind of stuff. Isn't it? It's very elegant.
It's really beautiful.
So it's wonderful. So hopefully, more retailers will start to follow.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice, I always feel very optimistic about the future of retail, and I think Bobby's is a really great sort of vision for what it could be like. So not to put too much pressure on Bobby's.
Yeah, I know,
sorry. But I think, and it must be so exciting for you, as you said, to be featured, and I'm sure that does really, that's when I think being featured in Stockists works really well, when people then suddenly go, oh, hang on a minute. It sort of changes their perception in their minds of your brand.
It's so funny. Yeah,
it shouldn't always, maybe it shouldn't work like that, but it does sometimes.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was going to say, Catherine. That is so funny you say that, because I said this to my friends, love my friends, and, they know I work hard and I've got this brand, but I don't think they realised how serious I was and how it is a proper business. And yes, I am making handmade, like all us handmade founders will know, all our friends and families just think we're kind of playing around and it's a kind of hobby. But I think, like you said, when it went to Bobby's, oh my God, even my guy friends were just so complimentary. Like, don't forget us when you're famous. Stuff like that. I was like, gee, shut up. It's so funny. So I think, it does. Like I said, gives you that status, but it's silly, but it shouldn't.
So what are the plans for the future then? So hopefully formulating some new things.
Yes, I've got 3 or 4 new products in the pipeline as we speak over the next 6 months, which if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen I kind of asked for your input as well with scent and like what products you want to see, because, you guys are the important ones. So got some new products I'm formulating. My customers do keep asking me when I'm launching them, but I do have to explain there's not 20,000 hours in a day. So I'm really, honestly, I'd love that. So I'm really trying my best to formulate them in between packing all your orders and making products. So definitely new products coming in as soon as I can. And then the next thing as well, I've got a beautiful friend who is also a Bayo stockist here in Sandbanks in Dorset as well. And she is honestly the most incredible facialist I've ever worked with. And she and I have got some very exciting plans for next year. So more around spa collection, shall we say, and more on the facial and just going a lot more into depth with the products. So I think they're the kind of main things, but just trying to, get my happy skincare products out to more people.
So a final question for me, I guess what I'd love to know is if anyone's listening to this and maybe they have a business or are thinking about having a business and they also have significant health issues or things that they have to work around, take into consideration, do you feel like, you've had a long journey with this and it sounds like you've done incredibly well considering everything that you've been through, but is there anything that you feel like you wish you'd known earlier or any kind of tips that you've kind of gleaned from your journey?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, gosh, there's loads because, of course, it has been a massive journey. But I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because if you go, like you say, if you go back to health, you've got 2 camps, haven't you? You've got like half of the people who have got an illness that think, actually, I better just work for someone. It's safe. It's guaranteed. That's fine. And then you've got the other half, like me, that think, actually, no, I need something that's going to be flexible. I want to pay myself well because I'm worth it. And so all I'd say to anybody out there that, well, ill or not, just if you've got a passion and you've got something that you really love, just give it a go. Because I think, as you've been in the retail industry for however many years, you said a long time, and you've seen it, all of its kind of areas. Yeah. And I think now, especially a product business, it's not easy, of course, because it's so saturated, but it is easier to get your products out there and your business out there whilst working from home.
Yeah.
Doing it from home. So I just think, definitely, if you've got an idea, don't let your health hold you back. Because if I can do it, anyone can do it. Because like you said, I've been through hell and back, and I'm still standing. So,
and you always have such an amazing, you're always so positive.
Thank you. I try.
Give it a go. And as you said, the idea is that the idea of a small business is the flexibility, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's why I started my first business all those years ago, because I was a receptionist / practice manager for a health clinic and I absolutely loved it. And I was doing all these different jobs, but I was never going to get paid what I wanted. Yeah. I'm not asking for like 100 grand, but I wanted a decent salary. And I just thought, no one's going to pay that to me because, I didn't finish my degree. I don't have any skills as such apart from beauty. So I thought, no, I'm just going to go make it on my own. And that's what I've done. And that's what I'm doing. Exactly.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for chatting to us and best of luck for Christmas, the busy season. And I can't wait to see your new products in the new year.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about where they can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, on Instagram, which is where I hang out probably 20 hours a day. Don't tell my boyfriend. Yeah, so my handle is Bao Skincare. So BAO, which stands for Beth's Aromatherapy Organic. And then also, of course, my website, which is baoskincare.co.uk. And it does also have a list of all of my stockists on there as well. So if you want to go into a physical store to try my products, I am trying to get them all around so you guys can go to them. And then, of course, call me or text me or email me if you've got any questions.
And if you're in Bournemouth, nip into Bobby's.
And if you're in Bournemouth, nip into Bobby's. Absolutely. I do need to start going down there a lot more. I'm doing it, I think, at the beginning of December. So that'll be good.
Amazing. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed having a chat with Beth. And again, I'm just always amazed by her positivity and also her amazing products. So do go check them out. If you have a moment to rate and review the podcast, if you are an iTunes listener, then I would very much appreciate it. Every single rating and review helps me get the podcast out in front of more people. And of course, if you hit the subscribe button, you will be the first to hear about every new episode as it is released. Until next week, have a good one. If you've enjoyed this week's episode, then I invite you to check out resilientretailclub.com. The Resilient Retail Club is the membership for anyone wanting to start, grow, or scale a profitable product business. No more trawling Google trying to find the answers to your questions or wading through general business advice that speaks mainly to service-based businesses. Whether you're still at the idea stage or you've been going for a while but want to get more focused and organised when it comes to your business, the Resilient Retail Club is the place for you. With a library of courses tailored to creative product businesses, several live sessions a month, and a supportive and active community, the Resilient Retail Club is the perfect membership to help you hit your goals faster. Check it out at resilientretailclub.com.